All right. Um, Recording again today, another threadworthy thought. Um, because I just experienced yet another thing that was really shifting and definitely probably something to talk about. So bear with me as I work through my thoughts. Um, definitely wasn't planning on recording today. Um, it was very interesting. So some background is this morning, a good friend reached me to ask me for, I think somewhat of a fairly reasonable favor, right? Like, it's not something out of the ordinary this person asked for. And this person's, very sweet to me, takes good care of me, what have you. And one of the things I learned or realized was I didn't want to say yes. Um, Even though it was a fairly reasonable request, it connected to something that happened prior, where I had said yes, and things ended up turning out more than okay, but I, like, went through a lot, maybe some unnecessary stuff, and I apologize for the vagueness, but that's all I'm gonna get into right now. Um, but I didn't wanna say yes, so I actually said, "No, I'm not comfortable. I understand the need, but no, I'm not able to do it." Um, and sh This person was like, "I totally understand. I'm surprised you said no, but I understand." I was like, "Okay." And then we hung up. And then I proceeded to have an hour-long panic attack about saying no. But also nothing in me would allow me to call this person back and be like, "I changed my mind, yes." I was like, "No, I actually stand by my no. I'm just having a full-blown panic attack right now." Instead, because I said no because I needed to say no. And so I'm on here recording because I noticed lately in my feed, there's been a lot of conversations about like people pleasers are the worst and get rid of that um, kind of movement in your life because you're just being manipulative and no one likes you anyway. So stop being people pleasy. People pleasers are just do gooders that like I don't know. I was here to, like, deserve some of the things that they don't get because, like, a real one wouldn't people please like that, you know? And I'm like, "Where is this coming from?" Mm, and I'm not saying, "Yes, please continue to people please," because like, no, that's not the answer either, but I definitely wanted a more empathetic, embodied, and understand response to why people pleasing happens and letting this be an opportunity to like challenge, especially some of us who are chronic people pleasers for some pretty good reasons, that it's still possible to move forward and let go and step into the truth that is you, that is life. So, yeah, I had to come on here because I literally just had like an hour-long panic attack because I said no to something I feel is reasonable to say no. If I don't wanna do it, that's it. That's the end of the story. But, I literally had so much fear roll through me that I had to, sit still because I was starting to shiver, and then I couldn't sit still. The next thing I knew, I disassociated, and I ended up in front of my refrigerator because I didn't realize one of my key responses to fear was, like, self-soothe by eating. I didn't put 2 and 2 together until that moment because I literally, like, disassociated, blacked out, and then ended up in front of my fridge, and with the fridge open, I was like, "Wait, why am I here? I just ate. I'm actually really full and comfortable. Like, what is going on?" Um, So, fear is real. Fear is I didn't realize, like, even and some of y'all follow Twitchy Witch, who teaches alchemical principles like Nugredo, Albedo, Citrininas, and Rubedo, which is like the four stages of alchemy. And I always assumed with alchemy, my Nigredo was tied to like the sadness or the pain and shame that sometimes easily crops up in me, whether it's reasonable or not. It didn't occur to me to be like, maybe some negredo starts by checking in with what fear, especially fear that is like tied to doing things for my well being, like saying no when I need to say no, and like me not fall apart. Like when I tell you this hour-long panic attack felt so rough. It felt similar to the one I had almost a decade ago when someone tried to assault me in my apartment. Um, it was like that same level of all I could do is sit in my room and close the door and, like, hug myself and, like, hide because also that very said person thought it was okay to, like, come back and, like, bang on my door when I reported him to other people. Like, it was like that same level of fear, and it didn't even occur to me and also, if that was a trigger warning for people, I s apologize. We could like, feel free to step away, come back, um, if that was like, "Woof," but I shared it so quickly because that's, like, a part of my lived experience, like, part of the fear I carried into my, like, adult years was because there were times I knew if I said no, it would have actually been, like, to immense harm to me. So, um, oh gosh, one day I'll go into that other situation, how I navigated somehow safely out of it, but it reminded me that, like, immense fear that I sometimes carry on, like, the ability to say no for me and the immense reaction my brain and my like body kicked off being like, "You're not safe, you're not safe," screaming at me when I had to be like, "No, I am actually safe because this person isn't going to be here with me um for the rest of my life, right? Like I'm the only person that's going to be here for me for the rest of my life. And I need to say no for me. I need to. Um, and it's not like it doesn't make me like less, generous or less willing to help, but I have to help and provide care from a place that's overflow for me. If I'm like, if anything this week has been revealing, and I don't know the order of the recordings. So I've done 3 recordings in, like, 3 days or 3 or 4 days, so I don't know the order I'm gonna post them, but if you're noticing a common thread is these past couple weeks up to this full moon in Aquarius, like, the downloads from having to go through some, repeated things, re-reviewing energy I carried and why maybe unconsciously I respond to things in certain way. So, mm. To have gone through like, to just have gone through that after saying, like, a simple "no" gives me so much empathy to anyone out here who is, like, yes, a chronic people pleaser that is trying to navigate away from it because, like, I could see why my mind and my body wanted to avoid ever feeling like that, but it had to roll through me for me to step back into my truth and power. Um, so that was like, oh, one thing I'm gonna unpack this week is fear as nigredo, like fear as the stepping stone of something I can also alchemize. And maybe me recording it is like part of me turning this iron of fear into gold of self embodiment and telling the truth. Um, Baha'is say, like, for example, that truthfulness is the cornerstone of all virtues. And truthfulness also includes self truth, truth of like self, and being able to say your truth to others as warmly, kindly, and as mercifully as you can. But you have to tell the truth. Because if I didn't tell this person the truth and I just said yes and squashed down how I felt, if something went wrong, I would have been devastated. I would have been devastated. And um, I, like any other person, have the right to say no. If I don't know how to say no, that also may mean I don't know how to respect other people's no's as well. And that's something I've been calling myself out on too. Like, if people have their boundaries as well, it's for a reason. And I can't be like tippy toe and the tulips around it. That is like not listening to a person's needs. And if I swear that, "Oh, I'm a person that loves people, cares for people, and really want to care for the people in my life." Part of that exercise is me being able to say no and them being able to say no too. So when they say yes or when I say yes, it actually comes from a truthful and authentic place. So all this to say, I'm recording this threadworthy thought to send an extra boost of love for us self-reforming people pleasers that are trying to move one step closer towards being their true self. Um, Maybe have a moment of saying no and then collapsing into the fear. Because I did not realize how much was tied to that fear response, especially the fear response of saying no when I want to, ergo needed to say no. Um, because it's something hard stop. I didn't wanna do it. I don't wanna do it. People are allowed to be like, "I don't wanna do it." And I get it now because I used to be sometimes so upset when, like, I need someone to do it something and they're like, "I don't wanna do it." I would be like, "Oh, does this person not love me? Da 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 da." And it's like, that's not fair. That's not fair to them. And I'm saying this message to me right now, like, if someone doesn't wanna do it, trust that the thing I need will come from someone else or somewhere else. That's the divine saying, not from there, because them doing it may cause unintended harm, and they know it, so they're not gonna do it. Or they could be like, "I'm tired of doing stuff for people, I need stuff for me today." Like, that is fine. And I want us to get to that place of knowing of what we're able to give and what we're not able to give so we could come in truth, in community, and connection and relationship. Loving kindness is telling the truth and getting to a place of bigger and better understanding, including and especially for self. If I didn't tell the truth, I wouldn't have gotten to this point of understanding how much someone no matters, how much my no matters, and how much um, extra capacity I've been carrying on me simply because I was carrying it out of fear or thinking that it's my thing to carry. When actually, if I believe in a big, expansive, ever evolving universe, then that means that very same universe that steps up and helped me in an aligned way will step up and help them in an aligned way too. And it just couldn't come from me today. Like, it just couldn't come from me today, and that is okay. So, thank you for listening to this that I really thought. Um, I'm actually wow, sometimes it's been these past downloads that I've been recording about has been like on the other side of it was immense processing, pain, fear, maybe some abandonment, some rejection, some letting go that felt really hard, but to be on this side of the understanding, be on this side of like, oh, I let that really strong emotion roll through me. And I let it roll through me with an immense amount of empathy and care and holding. And I was able to come to the other side to not only better understand myself, but better understand how to show up in love for anyone that surrounds me in my inner circle. Because that is like the biggest desire of my heart is to deeply love the people that surround me in truth and in grace and mercy, holding both of those together for them to truly know how much I love them because I see them, I hear them, I understand them. And what loving kindness has taught me is I have to give that very same intense love to myself first. Um, I have to be able to hold the nuance and complexities of me first and love them in order to like sincerely love another person back. So, yeah, I know I said it a bit ago, but yeah, thank you for listening to this threadworthy thought. Continue to connect with me as I unpack this stuff. If there's any thoughts, feel free to share them in the comments. Like, just know, especially as reforming people pleasers, I'm rooting for us because I'm saying I understand exactly why. Um, I could easily people please. I could have easily people pleased my way out of feeling that. But I'm glad I didn't. And so I'm rooting for you guys on that journey. So you could be in your best life. Your most authentic life is your best life. So thank you for listening to Threadworthy Thoughts. Wishing you all the best. And until next time.